Yeah, all the signs are pointing to Jacob's trouble. The time of Jacob's trouble is closer than we can imagine. Kohalo Yahweh Shmi Awashai Bashim Kodash. The honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and infinite salutations to the elect that are scattered abroad doing this work in truth and in sincerity. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let this ride. And then we're going to get into some scriptures.
Okay, this is incredibly important, so everybody stop what you're doing, share, repost, do whatever you can to make sure people know about this. Because something flew under the radar for a lot of people yesterday. Something that cannot be explained and does not make sense, except under certain circumstances. Yesterday, Trump signed an executive order called Strengthening and Unleashing America's Law Enforcement to Pursue Criminals and Protect Innocent Citizens. Like most things the Republicans do, it is a misnomer and pretends that it does something it doesn't. But there's a certain section you should look at. You can pause to read this, but it says that within 90 days of the order, the Attorney General, the Secretary of Defense, and the Secretary of Homeland Security increase military and national security assets in local jurisdictions to assist state and local law enforcement. This literally says that within 3 months of this order being signed yesterday, the heads of these agencies are supposed to use the military for local policing. This is something that is currently already illegal under the Posse Comitatus Act. The federal government and the military cannot be used to enforce domestic policies. And as many people have pointed out already, there's only 2 ways that he can actually use this executive order to have the military do local policing. That is by somehow having Congress overturn the Posse Comitatus Act, which is never going to happen, or by him invoking the Insurrection Act and putting us under martial law. There is literally no other way that executive order would work. This is something that everybody should be alarmed about.
Let's talk about Trump's newest executive order. I posted about it previously saying it was...
All right, and I'm about to let this play out again because this individual who appears to look like a Jake, but you can't judge according to skin color, because we know that the Israelites, come in all shades and colors and looks, because the Israelites have been scattered to all nations. But you have this new executive order strengthening and unleashing America's law enforcement to pursue criminals and protect innocent citizens. Okay, which now they're already sending, Americans off into these different countries, into concentration camps, under this ICE movement, right? So check this out. Let's listen.
Everybody should be alarmed about.
Let's talk about Trump's newest executive order. I posted about it previously saying it was Trump calling for martial law. I had people flooding my comments saying it's not martial law. Do you even know what martial law is? Do you know what due process is? Do you know what federal courts are? Do you know what the Constitution is? Because Trump has repeatedly attacked every single one of those things. He does not care. This administration does not care about the rule of law. It uses censorship and propaganda in so many forms to demonize and generalize groups of people to make them easier targets amongst their supporters. They have eliminated due process to imprison and deport innocent people to concentration camps, regardless of legal status. They have imprisoned and deported legal U.S. residents, work permit holders, people who have been granted asylum, people going through the legal immigration process. They have deported children who are U.S. citizens. The regime has imprisoned students for peacefully protesting the genocide they are funding and facilitating. They are labeling anyone they want a criminal or terrorist without proof, kidnapping them with no warrants, revoking visas without cause, and imprisoning them without due process, and they've begun arresting judges. I said this new executive order is a call for martial law because that's exactly what it is. The Trump regime does not adhere to the formal practices. It does not adhere to the rule of law or our system of checks and balances. This is the next step. This is the next mile they are taking after being given all kinds of inches. And they are doing it under the guise of fighting the illegal alien invasion, which is a big fucking lie. If you read the executive order, you can see that they are talking about investing in the capacity of prison. They are talking about militarizing the police, deploying military and national security assets into local jurisdictions, holding state and local officials accountable, off the tail end of arresting a judge, so we know what that means. And they are talking about prosecuting those who take part in diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. If an administration is talking about prosecuting people for diversity, equity, and inclusion, you should probably infer that that administration is fucking bad. We need to understand the scope and the gravity of what all of this means and treat it as such. We can't mince words. From the guy who wants a military parade in Washington, D.C. for his birthday, when Donald Trump repeatedly says he's going to do some fascist shit, that's the only time to believe him, because that's when he's consistent. They've already invoked the Alien Enemies Act to give ICE immunity and the power to break into people's homes and kidnap them without having a warrant. They're this close to invoking the Insurrection Act. What's happening in this country is all encompassing. And if you've actually been paying attention, you'd be ringing the alarm bells too. This is not normal. This is fascism. This is not me fear-mongering, as some people call it. It's literally the exact opposite. Do not be afraid of these stupid fascists under this idiotic dictator wannabe. This is a call to preparation and organization, and a reminder to our service members to please uphold your oath to the Constitution.
President Trump has just officially...
Yeah, and this is why they're going to have UN nations that are going to be pushed out here. It's not just going to be American soldiers either. You're going to have blue helmet United Nations soldiers, soldiers from other nations in the streets of America, and they're not going to give a damn about the Constitution, which the government is already ripping up the Constitution in the American people's face. All these signs, everything that's taking place, especially this new executive order that Donald Trump is signing, it's all pointing to a major event called Jacob's Trouble in the Bible. Okay? Where you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, are going to be, targeted for execution, to be destroyed, to be killed. Okay? And they're already doing these certain things, little things here and there to come against the Israelites, but it's going to get to a point where it's going to be, full-on chaos. All right? You let this play out.
Declared martial law as of today, April 29th, 2025. Yesterday, he signed the executive order called Strengthening and Unleashing America's Law Enforcement to Pursue Criminals and to Protect Innocent Civilians. This is terrifying, and nobody is talking about it except Rolling Stone magazine for some reason. Please go to whitehouse.gov, read the full text yourself, and spread this word. In summary, he declares that the military, the police, and ICE shall be unleashed into the streets of America to root out anything they declare as crime. They will be shielded from any prosecution for wrongdoing of any kind. If a civil official stands in their way, they will be prosecuted as a criminal. What this means is that no warrants will be needed by anyone. If you get murdered by ICE, that's legal. If a judge or an attorney tries to prosecute them, they will be arrested themselves. This is a state called martial law. It means that the military, the police, and ICE decide the law now. We no longer have rights. As Trump and Pam Bondi have both said, speaking out is a crime. Disagreeing with the president is a crime.
All right.
I posted about it previously.
So all the signs that are taking place on the earth is pointing to a major event called Jacob's Trouble. Let's get that scripture. Okay. And I also want to do this as well. Pull up this other video that I have from the elder Malcolm. Okay. Heavy video. All right. So first and foremost, this is Jeremiah 30:7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble
to do so now.
but he shall be saved out of it. Let's read that one more time. So like it, Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And that's what is about to take place on this earth. Okay, the time of Jacob's trouble. We've been warning you about this. Now, all the signs and everything that's taking place, is pointing to the major event of this prophecy of Jacob's trouble, where Jacob is going to be in trouble. Okay, the average Israelite, really 2/3 of our people, more than half of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to die here. And a lot of you Israelites are going to be taken out during this time of Jacob's trouble. All right, where Esau, the so-called white man, and these UN troops, other nations, are going to be slaughtering Israelites, man. Okay? Straight up slaughtering Israelites. Okay? This is the time that we're in. Now, this is the Elder Malcolm. All right, his channel is GMS Maccabean Spirit. 90 days or less, TikTok for you rats in the urban and suburban traps. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this.
Oh, more so than ever. All right, to the those would be your would-be judges, the 144,000, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. All right, among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nations. This is not a black only thing. All right. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with a crucial lesson in truth. We are here. The time is now. Okay. The stage is being set to set you up and violate the law and make you breakers of the law. Meaning, when there's no food, there's no resources, they know that crime is going to increase. And now Edom has prepared his sword. He's going to sanction posses, basically. All right. Deputize private individuals who could be from those NAZI organizations, those type guys, militias. Throw a badge on them, give them a shotgun and an AR, and send them out into the streets after you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, who primarily make up the body of Israel here on earth.
Right, and that's exactly what's about to take place. Okay, which the average so-called white person is a damn white supremacist. Okay, and really, these Edomites hate you Israelites, man, and that's what our people fail to realize. Our people, got that Stockholm syndrome, and they love the so-called white man, and this so-called white man, Esau Edom, has nothing but hate for you, and he's about to show you that in the near future when all hell breaks loose. All right, let's grab a scripture real quick. Revelation 12:12, it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." So this devil, okay, is about to come down with great wrath, okay? The worst time in history is about to take place, and we're already seeing the signs of chaos being lined up, okay, from this tariff war, which is going to, cause hyperinflation, inflation. It's going to cause the shelves to be bare. And like the Elder Malcolm was just going into, the system is set up for chaos, pretty much. It's set up for chaos to happen, and then Esau to come in with martial law and to pretty much start slaughtering. Okay? So this is all by design. Everything that's taking place is pointing to the major event of Jacob's trouble, man. This devil is about to come down with wrath. All right. Remember Esau's blessing, going back to Genesis. Esau's blessing is the sword. All right. And he has mastered his blessing of the sword, man. And he's about to let loose on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Right? But it said, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. So, hey, Jacob's trouble is also going to be a time of trouble for Esau too, man. It's going to be a time of trouble for the world. This event that's about to happen on earth, known as Jacob's trouble, is going to be a time of trouble for the world, a time of turmoil. But who's going to be at the forefront is going to be Jake, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because you're the least desirable nation on the earth, according to these heathens. In the eyes of the Most High, we're the chosen generation, we're the chosen, seed line. But in the eyes of the heathen, especially the so-called white man, they hate us, all right? But see, the Lord is only going to let Esau and these other nations have their way with the 2/3. You know, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to deliver his elect in this time, right? And the time of doing these videos and coming online and preaching and prophesying, that time is running short, all right? The time of watching these videos, doing videos, getting understanding, the time is running out. Amos 8:11, the famine of hearing the words is pretty much here, okay? So I'm going to play this a little bit more. I'm going to jump to the 13-minute mark, and then we'll get some more scripts.
All right. Especially here in America. Okay. Now, look, what you're looking at is the thumbnail from a video on YouTube. So, all right, and when I turned on my computer, this was what was on it. So the Lord set this up. So I clicked on it and used it as a thumbnail. All right. And that's from the movie Sicario. All right. Now, Northern Kingdom is extra wicked toward their own brother. Curses, because it's not like you did this to a heathen. They did this to their own people, man. All right.
Which that movie Sicario is a good movie. That movie shows you how the government is working with the cartel. Okay. It gives you an insight on how the government is actually working with the cartel. Which that's how Esau rolls. Esau has his hand in everything. Okay. The so-called white man, nothing is escaping his supervision. Remember, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. This so-called white man will hand everybody a gun and face everybody against each other. But behind closed doors, he's taking and stealing and robbing all the resources from everybody. Okay. He's funding Ukraine and he's also funding Russia. He's funding Israel and he's also funding America. This is how the so-called white man rules. And then behind it all, he's robbing all of the gold. He's robbing all of the resources. He's stealing all the oil. Okay. And now people are catching on to it. Okay. So what's left to happen is chaos. Okay. What's left to happen is people rising up against the government, sedition.
So how much worse you think it's going to get? And like I said, the stage is set where they're setting you up to commit crimes, and then they're also setting you up to enforce those crimes brutally, because what's going to happen?
Right, because when people start seeing the price of food, when a loaf of bread goes from whatever, $2-3 or whatever to $60 to $100 for a loaf of bread, what do you think people are going to do? They're going to start committing crimes. People are going to start robbing and looting the stores. People are going to be killing each other for the last loaf of bread, for the last pack of ramen noodles. But this is all by design. So then Esau can roll in with martial law troops and start slaughtering. Okay, order out of chaos, order ab chaos. Okay, Esau, he even has a slogan, order out of chaos. So they want chaos. This is what these devils want. So that's why we're about to see what we're about to see when the store shelves go bare. They want you people looting. They want you people killing each other. So then Esau can come in and play the hero when really he's the villain. Okay, He's going to play the hero while he's the villain. He's really the villain, and they show you that in the movies. A lot of the time, the guy in the movie that's portrayed as the villain is actually the hero, and the hero is really the villain. See, that's how Esau rolls. So he's going to come in playing the hero, and really he's about to slaughter you Israelites. Okay, this is the time we're coming into.
They're going to end up snatching a lot of you up. All these street takeovers and these.
I'm going to go ahead and jump to 13 real quick. The elder was snapping right here. It was just a heavy video, by the way.
Because you best believe they're going to go in on Ishmael. They're going to go in on the sand that have been caught up in different violations of civil rights, unjust stops and beatings and arrests and things like that. The ones that are in trouble in the law within the courts, they're all going to be exonerated. And they're going to be free to operate with complete and total immunity. So the brutality that is about to come from law enforcement, and I'm just going to outright say it, especially pale ones, especially so-called white men, toward people of color, especially towards you Israelites. Because you best believe they're going to go in on Ishmael. They're going to go in on the sand niggas as well as the other brown niggas, the darker brown niggas and spiggers. They're about to bust your heads to the white meat. All right. They're about to do all sorts of things to you. And don't be shocked too when they have their way with your wives and your daughters as well. A lot of that's going to be going on. You best believe it. And they're going to bring in the military to assist them. And they're going to deputize some of these racist hate groups. And like I said, put shotguns and AR-15s in their hands and point them at the inner cities. That's what's about to happen.
Just signed this executive order today, April 28th, 2025, strengthening and unleashing America's law enforcement to pursue criminals and protect innocent citizens. I read through the whole thing, but this is the part that stuck out to me the most. Section 4 of this executive order says, using national security assets for law and order. Within 90 days of the date of this order, the Attorney General and the Secretary of Defense, in consultation with the Secretary of Homeland Security and the heads of agencies as appropriate, shall increase the provision of excess military and national security assets in local jurisdictions to assist state and local law enforcement. Within 90 days of the date of this order, the Secretary of Defense, in coordination with the Attorney General, shall determine how military and national security assets, training, non-lethal capabilities, and personnel can most effectively be utilized to prevent crime. There is only one reason to sign an executive order like this with that language in it, and that is if you are intending to use the United States military as your police force to police the citizens of the United States. Now, there is already a law on the books, Pase Comitas Act of 1878. That law strictly prohibits the use of the United States military in civil law enforcement duties. So the only way that Donald Trump would be able to utilize this executive order is one of two ways. First, he gets Congress to pass a new law that reverses Pase Comitas, or two, he enacts the Insurrection Act and is then utilizing the military to regain civil control of the United States. That is literally the only two directions that they can go with this executive order.
Whew. So there you have it. What is this? What are all the signs leading up to? Is leading up to the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, so let's grab it. Second Ezra's 16 in verse 68, which we're about to see this take place on a full scale. Okay, the chapter of Second Ezra is chapter 15 and chapter 16. This is about to be in everybody's face. Okay, Second Ezra 16 and 68. It says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you." Yeah, the burning wrath of a great multitude. These different troops, FEMA troops, soldiers that are being set up for a sore slaughter. A slaughter is coming to America. Okay? And all nations are going to feel it, but the ones who are going to feel it the most are you Israelites, man. you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is the time of Jacob's trouble in the Bible. And this is why, starting with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, we've been telling you to get your life right and repent and build a relationship with the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son, Yahushua. Because if you do not have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua dealing with you in this time, you're through. You're done. You're dead. Okay? In this time of trouble, you're going to wish that you had the Most High with you. You're going to wish that you listened to the men of Great Millstone, the elder apostles, and the affiliates. Right? 2 Ezra 16 and 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols. Yeah. Ultimately, they're going to be casting Jake into prison. All right. You already see Israelites, people that are getting sent off to these other countries under this whole ICE immigration thing. And, you know, you got people that are citizens of America getting sent off to these different concentration camps, in different countries. So the stage is being set for Jacob's trouble, for them to come in and shoot first and ask questions later. That's what they're about to do. There's going to be a sore slaughter in this place of America. You're going to have a lot of Jake that's going to be sent off into these FEMA camps. All right. And what are they going to try to feed you? They're going to try to feed you this mark of the beast, the microchip. All right. It says, 2 Ezra 16 and 69, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So if you consent unto these devils, the New World Order, the microchip, ultimately you're going to be destroyed anyways. All right. It says, verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Right. And these devils, starting with the elite, see, they know about the Hebrew Israelites and they know about the men of the Lord, and they're going to try to come and persecute the men of the Lord. And that's when the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, is going to step in. Okay. And certain men of the Lord are actually going to break out with spiritual powers in this time. This is the time we are entering into, man. All hell is getting ready to break loose here in America, man. And we're about to see that soon when these shelves go bare, when Publix and Walmart and, ShopRite and Sam's Club, when there's no more food, people are going to result, to killing each other. And then Esau is going to come in and try to play the hero, like I said, right? And what he's going to do, he's just going to slaughter, okay? A sore slaughter, okay? Naquam 777 drops Psalms 59 and 2. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity and save me from the bloody men. Yeah, and who's the bloody men? Is these Edomites. And really call on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because who's doing all of this really is the Lord. This is the Lord wants this to happen, all right? Because of the wickedness that's taking place on this earth, there's a judgment, okay, that people did not count on. People didn't count on the Lord to bring judgment. They thought, the average person thought they could just be as wicked as you want and get away with it. And little do you know, the time of Jacob's trouble is judgment for the wickedness of the earth, man. And for the wickedness of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, you YNs, right, and YSs, y'all gonna be through in this time, man. All right? Yeah, beautiful. Isaiah 13 and 15, it says, everyone that shall be found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. Yeah, so you're going to have, women are going to be getting taken and ravished, okay, raped in this time. You're going to have children getting dashed to pieces. You're going to have old and young being destroyed. This is the time we are entering into, right?
Bust your head to the white meat. All right. They're about to, because you best believe they're going to go in on Ishmael. They're going to go in on the sand niggas as well as the the other brown niggas, the darker brown niggas.
Oh yeah, because they don't see, you know, like that episode of Family Guy. You had the cop, you had the cop come up to Peter, right? He was in the car and they pulled up a paper, you know, and if you're brown skin, you're not okay. But if you're white, you're okay. I'm gonna try to find that picture actually.
And Spiggers, they're about to bust your head to the white meat. All right, they're about to do all sorts of things to you. And don't be shocked too when they have their way with your wives and your daughters as well. A lot of that's going to be going on. You best believe it. And they're going to bring in the military to assist them, and they're going to deputize some of these racist hate groups. And like I said, put shotguns and AR-15s in their hands and point them at the inner cities. That's what's about to happen.
Just signed this executive order today, April 28th, 2025, strengthening and unleashing.
All right. So yeah, that's the time that we're in. Okay, this is the time that we're in, and I found a picture. Let me pull it up real quick. And this is how Esau operates. That's why, you know, the Elder Malcolm was bringing it up. Hey, these sand niggas and all these. If you're brown skin, you're gonna be a target. Right here. All right. You see, this is how Esau sees things. All right. You brown, you light brown, you dark brown, you damn near black. Yeah, you're not okay. It's the time we coming into, man. All right. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 71. It says, and they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So this time of trouble is coming, and us members of the hopeful elect, you know, we're going to be protected, but we're also going to have to live through this time. Okay. We're going to see some very horrific things. Okay. But this is the time where our faith is going to have to be on 144%. We're going to have to, you know, rely on the faith of the Most High, because in the times we're coming into, it's going to look real bad. It's going to look real. It's going to look like we're not going to win. The Most High is going to put us in a situation where it looks like we are not going to win. So then Yahweh Shemi Awashai can come through with miracles and deliver us, but only for the ones that have faith and believe on the names of Yahweh Shemi Awashai. Okay? So our faith is going to have to be on a different level during this time, man. There's going to be death all around, plagues, killings, murders. All right? I saw this video last night, man. It was crazy that, you know, as you know, one of those cop videos, you had this, it was a Issacharite. He appeared to be an Issacharite. He was definitely Northern Kingdom. And the cops came to his house. I guess the neighbors had heard like 10 gunshots or whatever, so they called the cops. The cops had came to his house, and this guy, he was schizophrenic. He was hearing voices. He was plagued with demons, but he killed his whole family, man. He killed his mother. He killed his father. He killed his sister, and he dragged them out to the backyard and he tried to bury them. And when the cops came, he just admitted it. So we're going to see demons like that all over America soon. Very soon, we're going to see some demonic acts. And this time, we're going to have to stand strong in the name of Yahweh Shemi Awashai. As the scriptures say, he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. This is why you're supposed to prepare your mind now. Prepare yourself for the time of Jacob's trouble. And there's really no physical way to prepare for it. You can't go to the gym and prepare for Jacob's trouble. It's a spiritual preparation by building a relationship with Yahweh Shemi Awashai. That's how you prepare for this time. Okay? 2nd Ezra 16 and 71, it says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire, right? The Most High is going to make it known that he's with us during this time. And people are going to see, okay, if we be the elect, people are going to see that we are the elect, that the Most High is dealing with us. Because during this time of all hell breaking loose and chaos and no food, the men of the Lord and the believers are going to be protected. And they're going to have food and water. Okay, that's what we are banking on. We're betting on the Lord to deliver us. That's where our faith is at. 2 Ezra 16:74 says, "O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same." So that's the balance in all of this. So as we tell you about Jacob's trouble, the balance is that the Lord is going to deliver his elect. You know, the Lord is going to deliver his elect, but for everybody else, it's going to be a very, very ugly and brutal time. And we've, starting with the elder apostles of Great Millstone, we've been warning you about this. And now the Lord is about to shut his mouth. Okay, shut the prophet. The mouth of the prophets is going to be shut. You're not going to hear these videos no more soon. Ezekiel 7:5. And we'll close it out with this. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, in evil, and only evil, behold, is come, an end is come, the end is come. It watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. So this is the end times. This is all leading up to the major event of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, so let us watch, let us pray, let us continue to fast and do what you got to do to get closer to the Lord. Because if you don't have the Lord, if you don't have Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai dealing with you, you're dead. Okay, you're not going to make it. All right. So with that, call for Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Jacob's trouble is around the corner. Shalom.